Hey everybody, Bill Treadway coming at you once again. Just wanted to touch base with you tonight and talk to you about some tips on investing. First tip, when you consider investing, you want to invest in the greatest asset that you have, and that is in yourself. Of all the things that we could put together and we can invest in that would be assets, yourself is the greatest investment that you could make. If you don't invest in yourself, then nothing else you do in your life is going to really amount to anything, and it's not going to have the effect that investing in yourself is going to have on any area of your life. So when we think about investing in ourselves, what does that entail? Well, it entails in investing in yourself in body, soul, and spirit. You want to invest in yourself in your body because your body is that entity that carries you in this earth. And if your body is not healthy, then you can't accomplish anything. You can't do anything that you have dreams and visions and aspirations about. So you definitely need to take care of your body. You want it to be physically in shape. You want to put the right fuel into it. And you want to stop putting into it the kind of garbage and fuel that could be causing your body to break down prematurely and creating physical issues with you. The next thing is you want to invest in yourself as far as your soul. You want to take care of your mind and your emotions and your will. And your soul has to do with that. So if you are not healthy in your thoughts and in your emotions, you want to take care of that as well. There's a phrase that says that as a man thinks, so is he. If your mind is not right and your thinking patterns are not right, then your thoughts are not going to be proper, and your thought, the where you think and where you focus your concentration on in your mind is where your body's going to go. So if you're not focusing right, your body is not going to go in the right direction. But if you start focusing on a goal, and if you start focusing on a path and on fulfilling your dreams and your visions and your goals and your desires and your aspirations for life, and you start putting into effect a plan, a written plan on paper, and then carry out that written plan, you will be able to change the way you think, and then by changing the way you think, you'll also be able to change the path you're on, or if you're on a good path, strengthen the path you're on. Then also investing in yourself, you want to be careful to invest in your spiritual well-being as well. You want to make sure that your connection with your creator, with God Almighty, is proper and where it is supposed to be, so that you're in right standing with him, so that you have communication with him in your spirit, and so that your body, soul, and spirit can work together. The next thing you want to do, the next tip I have for you as far as investing, is you want to get out of the making money mindset and you want to get into the asset creating mindset. What I mean by that is this. If you think about assets and liabilities, what are they? Well, assets put money into your pocket, and liabilities take money out of your pocket. We hear a lot about buying a home. Buying a home is an asset. Well, there's truth to that, and then there's fallacy to that. The truth of that is your home is an asset, but the question you have to ask is, who is it an asset for? You or the company holding your mortgage, your banker or your loan company or whatever it may be? If your mortgage is held by a bank or a loan company, then the asset is theirs, not yours, because you are paying for it and that money is going in their pocket. It is actually a liability for you. But if you are using, or if you were able to buy a house and you were able to put someone into it to rent it, and then they are paying your rent to the company that holds the debt on the place, and you're able to make X amount of dollars a month, then that becomes an asset for you. And you can look at that with anything that you want to look at. Go down the list of all the things that you have that you're indebted to, and find out, is this putting money into my pocket as an asset, or is it taking money out of my pocket as a liability? And you'll be able to basically put a tag on all those things that make up the part of your life. So you want to get out of the making money mindset where you trade your time for money, and you want to get into the creating assets or investing into assets mindset, so that you can actually have money coming into your pocket instead of being taken out of your pocket. The next tip I want to talk to you about on investing is basically that: invest in income producing assets. So if that's the case, what are income producing assets? Well, we already mentioned one of them. One of them is real estate. Another one would be commodities. Commodities would be things like gold, silver, food, oil, things like that. Those would be considered commodities, things that are hard and are not easily transferred or changed, that have true value. Real estate is a hard asset that will generally hold value for you and be able to create income for you when you own it and you have someone else paying the bills for it. And another aspect of producing assets that is really new to the asset classes is digital currency, digital assets. You want to consider what we call, some people know it as Bitcoin, some people know it as cryptocurrency, some people know it as digital currency, or as it's quickly becoming, digital assets. It is actually becoming an asset class, and it is morphing into becoming an asset class, being set up to be named an asset class, and that'll be the first asset class that we've had created in 230 years. Which 320 years actually, 320 years since England actually created bonds to fund the war. So we want to get out of the mindset of making money by trading our time for money, and we want to get into the mindset of investing in income producing assets. The next tip on investing I want to talk to you about is, if you're going to invest in a company, before you invest in it, do your homework, do your research. Research a company if you're considering investing in it, whether it's stocks, bonds, mutual funds, whether it's digital assets, whether it's commodities or real estate or whatever. You want to look at the company, you want to look at their white paper, you want to look at the leaders in the company, you want to see what their backgrounds are, you want to look at their portfolio, you want to look at their history, their product that they are creating. You want to look at all those things that make up that company, and you want to do your research before you ever put any of your hard-earned money into it. And you want to see if they actually have a future. Now, the great thing about doing this is when you look into a company, there will be sometimes companies that are undervalued, that you see and you look at their white paper and you look at the leadership and the staff and those who are directing it, and you say, wow, this looks like a pretty good company. It looks like they've got a good future. It looks like their foundation is pretty decent. It's like, why doesn't anybody know about these guys? Or how come it is that so few people realize these guys are in the game? And in doing that, you can actually find a diamond in the rough that way and put in a very little bit amount of money and come out well ahead in a couple, 3, 5, 8, 10 years. That's the great thing about digital assets, and why I mentioned those in the tip before about investing in income producing assets, is because digital assets right now are such a young asset class and such a young industry that there are so many new companies in the space of digital assets that you could potentially look at their white paper and follow through and read them, and you could say, wow, yeah, this looks like this is a pretty good company. They've got a good idea. And doing a little research on that could cause you to see something that other people are not seeing, and with a little bit of investment, you could actually end up with your own diamond in the rough, with your own asset that actually ends up changing the future of your family, not only for you and your immediate family, but for generations to come. Then the last tip I want to leave you with is invest in things that you understand. But at that time, not only invest in the things that you understand, but be open to do more research on the things that you come across with the things you understand and with the things you don't understand. Don't ever let anything that you don't understand stop you from doing research. There are people right now in the investment world that I know of that are hardcore stocks and bonds and mutual funds, and they will not even consider real estate, or they will not even consider digital assets. It's like, I don't understand that. I'm not getting involved in that. That's a farce. And they listen to the headlines instead of doing their own homework, which kind of surprises me, because some of the people that are saying those things are actually seasoned investors who have done their own homework and have said, nope, I don't want to have anything to do with it. That's too out of bounds for me. And you know what? If they've done their homework and they've decided it's out of bounds for them, that's good. Okay, you've done your homework, and I respect you for it. But if you haven't done your homework and you're bad mouthing a company or an industry or a segment or a space, then you really have no basis to badmouth a company that you don't know anything about. Maybe you've listened to the headlines and the headlines are wrong. But you want to make sure that if you're going to say something negative about a company, that you want to do that, and you want to do it because you have done your own homework and you know what that company is all about, so you can actually make an educated decision. And if anybody says something and you make a statement, that is actually backed up by education that you yourself have done. So those are my tips on investing. If you have heard this and have a comment, leave it below so we can start a dialogue and I can hear what you have to say. I like to hear comments on these things that I post, and if not, then take care. Happy investing, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care, folks.